It's a difficult truth we all have to face. Peach season, sorry, it's on its way out. But before it goes, our next guest says, celebrate it properly with a cinnamon peach sweet roll. Heather Smith of Orson Gygi will roll out the recipe. Oh, this sounds delightful. I've been enjoying eating the peaches all day, every day.
I feel like it's the, you know, like the farewell fruit for the summer, which I will hold on to as long as I can. But I will say I am like excited to like start baking again, because when the temperatures are like 100 degrees, I hate turning my oven on. And so now that it's like dropped to 70, I was like, all right, who wants some baked goods? Like, who wants to get going?
Let's do this. So, all right, how do we get started?
So before you kind of jump into this is a good time to kind of look at your ingredients that you have, like your yeast or your flour, things that maybe you've kind of tucked away for the summer, and look to see if they're like ready to be used again. And this is like, I will always use this as a teaching example for when we're doing things, is check your yeast, because even though you've got it in your freezer, you may, like, it may need to be checked. So what you'll want to do is just put it in a cup of warm water, not hot water, but just warm water. And you can see that if it, I like to say that if it gets like the root beer float kind of foam on top of it, then you know that your yeast is good to go. So then you know that the rest of this recipe is going to be really easy to do, because the yeast is the one ingredient in here that could be a little bit temperamental. So check your yeast beforehand. If you're using your yeast all the time, you're good to go, because you know that it's fresh and ready.
Got it.
But if you haven't used it, just check it, and then you'll be ready to go for this recipe. So the
yeast could like make or break this.
It really is, yeah, because we want this to be a nice fluffy roll. Another thing in the recipe, it tells you to like heat up your milk. The purpose of that is because it will help to like denaturize the proteins in the milk, which helps it to give it bigger fluff. So again, like if you're like, I make this recipe and I don't get this right, it could be that your milk was not heated up and your yeast is wrong. So after you've gone through all that, it's a really simple recipe: eggs, flour, all those things. And now here we have now this is after our first rise. I've rolled it out, and then I've just brushed it with some melted butter. I've left right here on the dough without butter, because we're gonna use that to roll. And so then we have a combination of brown sugar and some cinnamon here. And this is where you'll just like close your eyes if you're like trying to like just minimize your sugar content, because again, this is like, we're going to be celebrating peach season, going out with a bang. But also it's a cinnamon roll, like don't hold back.
Go all in.
Yeah, so once you've got all of that, then we're gonna add in a few of our other favorite ingredients. These are our cinnamon chips that we sell at Orson Gygi. I think you should try one, snitch one, and see if you like that. But oh my goodness, it is like, it's not like perfumey cinnamon. It's like, oh, it tastes really, really good.
Delicate.
Yes.
Yummy.
So I love to add that to all of my baked goods, your cookies, whatever. But then the secret ingredient is our peaches. So we have peeled them, and then I just threw some flour in there. So the flour is going to help to kind of like suck up some of the juices that might come out of that, so it doesn't make it extra gooey in there, but then also keeps it from like just sinking to the bottom of our baked goods.
So a certain level of ripeness then for the peaches?
So, I mean, here's the thing, especially as we're getting to the end of the season, use what you have. Obviously not overly ripe, because the overly ripe ones are a little bit harder to kind of spread in there. But again, use what you have. I'm not going to say that you can't use anything. Now, this is where you'll want to kind of just press it in here. Now, you'll see that I've kind of stayed away from the edges a little bit, because the way that I actually love to do a cinnamon roll, I don't know how you grew up, but
let's check this out.
With like dental floss where they do it, but I actually like to individually roll each one. And so I will cut this into like even pieces, but for the sake of time while we're here, and I'm trying not to cut too much on your countertop. So what we'll do is roll it. Sorry, my hands are a little gooey. And you'll want to roll tight, because it will start to loosen. Sorry, I should have cut that a little bit more right here.
It can get a little tricky for sure, but you want to make sure those peaches stay in.
Cut on something that you know is not going to scrape it, and then look at this. Then you've got like the most gorgeous roll, and then you can like customize this. If you don't like them so big around, cut this in half, and then you've got lots of mini rolls that you can do.
Perfect little set,
But you'll put this on a cookie sheet sprayed, and then after you have all of those, our other secret ingredient is heat up a little bit of cream. And you just pour a little bit of cream, because we learned this summer making butter, that's all that butter is cream. So you'll put a little cream on there, bake that, and then you'll top it off with some like, I am partial to the cream cheese buttercream, but you could use like just a sweet like icing or just a vanilla buttercream.
Can't go wrong with
but
that.
I love the contrast with the cream cheese.
That is gorgeous. And how long are we cooking it for?
Like 15 to 20 minutes at 375. So not very long. You'll just want to get them golden brown. If you're really nervous about it, about 170 with an internal temperature.
Okay.
And then you can have some
There
fun.
you have it, guys. Oh my goodness. Heather, thanks so much. So we don't have to put all those peaches away. I mean, look what you can create. This looks delicious. And where can people find more info about the recipe?
Yeah, Gygi.com. We'll have it on our Instagram. And we've got classes doing all of this. So come and take classes with us.
Thanks so much.